Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You've tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. The free-range human show of choice. Did I say that already? Even if I did. If I didn't, I said it twice. Or if I did, I said blah, 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 blah. Can't talk this morning. I've been listening to some Pantera and I drank a 5-hour energy. Y'all bear with a brother for a minute. Anyway, this is the Clay Edwards Show. I am Clay Edwards. I am live here on 103.9 FM WYAB. Good show this morning from our fellow host here, Mr. Matthew Bishop, with the full story. Y'all be sure to tune in from 6 a to 7 a.m. If you wait to 7 to cut the dial on, you're missing a really, really good hour of radio for those early birds. If you're a political junkie, Mr. Bishop does a great, great job of digging deep into stories and relaying them and giving his opinion on it. Good stuff there. Nice to have a local, live, lead-in show to this one instead of something national. Let's see here. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Somebody texted a minute ago and asking about where Kim Wade was. Kim is on vacation. I think he'll be back today. If he told me Thursday or Friday, I think it's today. So Kim should be back this afternoon live. If not, it'll be tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for that. He's had a great gamut of co-hosts filling in for him this week. Hey, look, man, live radio is better than a replay anytime. If you can get somebody to come in and fill in and do something different, sprinkle a little different salt on something, a little extra seasoning, that's always a good thing. Mix things up, change things up a little bit. It's a little easier in the afternoons to get somebody to fill in than it is in the mornings. So that's why when I'm not here, sometimes you'll hear a replay. But I think the last 2 times I've been out, Mr. Bishop has filled in for me, so much appreciated by that. So let's see, Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. I rarely start the show off with an ad read, but with all this rain we've had the last couple of days, I don't want to let it get away from me. Watkins Construction and Roofing. Guys, if you didn't know you had a roof leak, you probably do by now after the gully washers that we've had for the last week. And there appears to be no end in sight until Friday afternoon, which that works out perfect for the Miranda Lambert concert over there at Trustmark Park Friday evening. Looks like it's going to be in the low 80s, high 70s, and very, very, very light chance of rain. So that should be a good time. But back to Watkins Construction and Roofing. Just be sure to check them out, man. They're going to come out. They're going to do a complimentary roof inspection, whether they've got to replace a little section of shingles and do a little work under there. If you need a whole new roof, they got you covered. They'll work with your insurance company every step of the way. Locally owned, locally operated. They're one of the big boys, or they're the big boy. Watkins Construction and Roofing. You can check them out online at watkinsconstructioninc.com. Always professional, always courteous. Going to be in contact with you the entire step of the way. You're not going to have to wonder about anything. You rarely even have to ask them a question because as stuff pops up, they're going to be in constant communication with you. They got a great sales team, a great follow-up team, very professional. They're going to come out. They're not going to have all the boom boxes playing bumpity bump, bump, bump and cuss words or whatever else, or mariachi bands or anything else. They're going to come out. They're going to be professional. They're going to get it done. They're going to clean up. They're not going to mess up your landscaping, and they're going to be gone. And all you're going to know is, I got a new roof, or I got my leak fixed. All right, got that off my chest. Wanted to make sure that we didn't forget to tell you about Watkins Construction Incorporated with all of this rain that we've got around here. Let's see here. Guns and Gear text line. Y'all guys are already bringing it this morning. All right, so I guess Bobcat says Matt said he was doing Kim's show today, Thursday. Okay, so maybe Kim's gone for the whole week. I thought he told me Thursday, but I get a lot of text messages, so sometimes I get my wires crossed. Well, hey, that'll be a good show then. Matthew's a highly, highly high IQ guy and does his homework. Let's see here. Who else texted in? Unknown texter says, why every time I hear Benny Thompson's voice do I feel like I need to vomit? Because you probably do. There's a simple answer for that question. Let's see here. Let's get back to my show prep here. Let's start the show off with some big Trump energy. Big Trump energy. How about that, man? I said this the other day. It's like, I go through ebbs and flows where sometimes I want to be a nice guy. Sometimes I want to try to meet people in the middle. And then sometimes I just want to punch people in the face. And I don't want to be nice. And that's really, honestly, if I'm being 100 with y'all, and I always try to be, that's really probably way closer to the real Clay, is just not being nice and punching somebody in the face. Not for no reason. I mean, if you upset me to that point, it's your fault, not mine. I don't walk around looking for fights. And Trump really, I was watching this Trump speech last night, and I thought he did a really, really good job. Let's listen to Trump for a second.
For 3.5 years, Lion Kamala Harris has been the ultra-liberal driving force behind every single Biden catastrophe. She is a radical left lunatic who will destroy our country. If she ever gets the chance to get into office, we're not going to let that happen. I was supposed to be nice. They say something happened to me when I got shot. I became nice. And when you're dealing with these people, they're very dangerous people. When you're dealing with them, you can't be too nice. You really can't be. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay? They want me to be nice.
I like it. He don't want to be nice. I don't want him to be nice. They shot the man. They shot him. Why should he be nice? Look, I have tried my ever-loving best to not sound like Facebook conspiracy theory uncle, but the more and more and more that comes out about just how terrible of a job the Secret Service did, it's getting harder and harder to pretend that they didn't try to kill Donald Trump. Now, I'll stand by my original statement that I don't believe that the kid was involved. And I know some more wonky stuff has come out about somebody from the FBI maybe visiting him that's visited the FBI, or maybe he visited the FBI. I mean, some weird stuff, right? I get it. But I just don't believe the kid was involved directly. I just think that what they did is they created a situation by failure or incompetence or intentionally. And I'm leaning towards intentionally. And they knew they had credible threats. They knew Iran had a hit out on Trump. And they said, well, we're just going to be very lax with security and just let nature run its course. And inevitably, a guy that's gotten 1 billion death threats, one of these left-wing nut job kooks will try to follow through, or Iran will, or whoever. There's a photo circulating online. I don't know if it got verified or not, but wouldn't surprise me at all if it's real, of the shooter, Thomas, whatever his name is, looking a bit tranny-ish, looking a bit rainbow supremacy-ish. Again, not sure if it's really him, not sure if it's real. But for the sake of this conversation, it is, considering the last 11 or 12 mass shootings were all done by people from the LGBTQ, LMNOP, BLM, transgender wing of the Democrat Party. So, but again, you're a racist, bigot, homophobe, transphobe, insurrectionist if you bring up any of that. Hitler, Putin, Nazi. If you bring up any of that. So, they'll kick you off Facebook for that. Speaking of which, my Facebook group, just go to Facebook, type in Clay Edwards Show. I've had to make an edit on this thing. I have to approve all posts now. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't get their news from credible sources or their memes from credible sources. And hey, look, I'm not saying don't believe everything, but if it's from an unverified source, Facebook's going to give you a ding on it and say posting misinformation and all that stuff. So, and none of that bothers me. I don't care. I'll make my own opinion up on stuff. I can decipher fact from fiction. I like to think so anyway. So when it comes to my personal life, apparently. But so I've had to turn the post to approve because they're starting to ding my personal profile. Like I can't go live on Facebook again for 30 days because of something somebody else put in my Facebook group that I'm a moderator of. Really weird. So I don't know. I may just end up deleting the group because I hate having to censor people. I don't believe in censorship. And I dang sure don't want to be the one in charge of picking and choosing whose post gets approved. But that's where we're at for right now until I decide an alternative path. Maybe I need a moderator. Let them do it. If you want to be a moderator in the Facebook group, let me know. I will make you one. The last thing I want to do is spend my time picking and choosing posts that get approved. You know, I like Facebook for non-political stuff. Like I enjoy Facebook for just talking about stuff. I made a post last night. I accidentally deleted it and just reposted it. I promise I'm not a nut job. And I didn't repost it for extra attention. I just thought it was a good post and I wanted to keep it up. I'm going to read it to y'all real quick. And this is just kind of where I'm at with arguing about politics online. I'm just kind of done with it. We've been doing this. We've been arguing about politics online like hardcore. For me anyway. I can only speak for myself here. Going back to when Donald Trump came down that golden escalator. And I bet you 90% of my social media posts have been about politics and cultural war. I mean, it's gotten me all the way to having, my own radio show every morning. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just burned out. I'm burned out talking about politics away from here. I mean, we do it on X, we do it on and these reels that we make, and we make these little videos, yapping and stuff about things because it pays the bills. But like Facebook, I enjoy Facebook for sharing pictures of my food, my family, what I'm doing in my personal life. Physical fitness, jiu-jitsu class, whatever it is right now. Just tired of arguing about politics on Facebook. This ain't about anything else. This ain't about trying to meet people in the middle or, all that stuff. I just seen another post a second ago. Somebody said, this is all we do on here is argue about politics and makes people hate each other. And all that's true. And I don't know how you change that. I was I sat in the other day. Andrew Gasser was, and I know I'm rambling here, but I need to get this off my chest. Andrew Gassar, I'm not quite sure. I think it's Gassar. I'm from the South. I pronounce things like they're spelled. It's spelled Gasser because he brings that gas. Anyway, gas on a fire. And I told him, I said, man, look, I'm committed all the way in to that election and maybe through the inauguration. But after that, at minimum, I'm deactivating my social media for 30 days, and I'm taking a big, big step back from social media. I don't know what else I got to bring to the table. I mean, I've kind of done it all. Maybe focus on YouTube videos, something like that. But this just back and forth nonsense on Facebook and X and everywhere else. Look, I had to keep X because where 90% of my show prep comes from. But man, it is toxic. Like I say, I can make a post about just anything, a picture of my food, and people will get in the comments and make it about politics or culture war stuff. I'm just tired of that. Like, you can only handle so much negativity. I've said it jokingly on here before, but I'm being serious. When we do these shows like this, it's like you spend 2 hours a night looking for things to be mad about. And there's plenty of things to be mad about out there. And look, I'm a bit of an anger addict myself. I'll be the first to admit it. But every now and then, I just kind of want to unplug from that. It's like work-life balance. Anyway, didn't mean to get on a rant about that. It was just on my mind this morning, and thought I would dump that on y'all. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, I got a bunch of things that I spent gathering last night to make me mad. I'm going to share them with all y'all. We got tons of clips from Joe Biden. I got some stuff on Kamala. I will not say Kamala. Her name is Kamala. Again, I'm from the South. S-O-U-F. I'm from the South. I pronounce things like they're spelled. It's spelled Kamala. Kamala. We got a bunch to unpack. Why can't the city of Jackson elect politicians who can pay their bills? And we wonder why the city's in such disarray. Lot to unpack this morning. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. You know what time it is. It's time to tell you about Men's Health of Mississippi. That's right. That's right. Guys, get over there today and let's get your testosterone checked out. But hey, you don't even have to show up to get your appointment scheduled. All you got to do is text my name, Clay, to 601-327-8550. Just text Clay. It's that simple. 601-327-8550. They're going to get you scheduled for a free testosterone screening. And man, you will be on the road to having the best life you've had in a long time. If you're suffering from fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, brain fog, or sleep disturbances. And there's so many other things too that your testosterone being off can take care of. Get over there, check them out. Again, you know, man, you've been listening to the show for a while. I'm pushing 2 years on this stuff. I guess February will be 2 years. And I've had mixed results. I mean, it's been great, even without even working out. But now that I've really, really been hyper-focused on my diet and working out too, the changes to my body just in the last month have been greater than I've ever seen in any time period in my existence of trying to be physically and mentally fit. So you will not be disappointed. Get over there. Check them out today. Located, what is that address? They're located right there in Fountains Boulevard in Madison. So it's locally owned. Men's Health of Mississippi. You can check them out online if you want to. menshealthms.com, menshealthms.com. But again, help the show out. This helps them track where their advertising dollars are working. And if you want to support WYAB, you want to support the Clay Edwards Show, let them know their advertising dollars are working by just texting my name, Clay, to 601-327-8550. That's Men's Health of Mississippi for your free testosterone screening today. All right, let's jump into some national stuff here. Obama doesn't believe Kamala Harris can beat Trump. That's why he refuses to endorse her. Here's a story from the New York Post. I stumbled across this one last night while I was looking for some other stuff, and I was like, well, that's interesting. I knew he hadn't endorsed her, but he was playing some games behind the scenes, and he is really, really upset that that Biden came out and endorsed Kamala. I don't know exactly who he was going to put in there. I think, actually I do. Let me read this. Former President Barack Obama hasn't endorsed Kamala Harris' presidential bid because he doesn't think she can beat Donald Trump, according to a source close to the Biden family. Following President Biden's shocking exit from the race on Sunday, and his immediate endorsement of the vice president, most the Democrat elite have been quick to rally behind Harris. But Obama is a notable exception. Obama is very upset because he knows she can't win, the Biden family source told the Post. Obama knows she's just incompetent. The border czar who never visited the border, saying all migrants should have health insurance. Things keep popping up. Sorry, pop-ups keep blowing me up here, y'all. Good Lord. I just want to read. I don't want to read your pop-ups. Let's see here. The border czar who never visited the border, saying that all migrants should have health insurance. She cannot navigate the landmines that are headed for her. Secret Service? I'm not insinuating anything. That is the New York Post. The turning point for Biden, 81, came after his disastrous performance against Trump in a televised debate in Atlanta last month, which the Post first revealed was part of an elaborate setup to remove him from the race. Oh, ain't no doubt about it. But the source doesn't have high hopes for a TV debate between Trump and Harris. When Biden was still in the race, a second debate was scheduled for September 10th. Quote, wait until the debate. She can't debate. She's going to put her foot in her mouth about Israel, Palestine, Ukraine. She's going to say something really stupid, the source said. Obama knew this was going to happen. Joe knew this was going to happen. Now she's going to have to answer real questions. The White House did not respond to the Post's request for comment on this story. According to the source, Obama's hope was to get Biden out of the way, and an op-ed written by George Clooney in the New York Times asking him to step aside was part of that plan. However, the higher-ups in the Democrat Party didn't count on Biden endorsing Harris right away, and Obama was shocked when the president endorsed her, according to the insider. After Biden's ouster, Obama, who did not return a request for comment on Wednesday, wanted Arizona Senator and former astronaut Mark Kelly at the top of the ticket when the Democratic National Convention is held next month, the source said. Obama is furious that things haven't gone his way, which is why he is not joining in the Democrat Party support of Harris, the Biden source added. Another well-placed Democrat source said Obama being surprised by a smart political decision actually makes sense when coupled with his personal inability to see politics beyond his singular immediate interest. Quote, Obama always thinks he is the smartest and coolest guy in the room. He's friends with George Clooney, after all. Man, if being friends with George Clooney is what makes you cool, I'm perfectly okay with being the uncoolest dude in the room. Continuing on, Rod Blagojevich, the disgraced former governor of Illinois, who denounced Obama as a threat to democracy in a Wall Street Journal op-ed Tuesday, told the Post that he believes Obama was instrumental in getting Biden out of the race. Blagojevich, a former Democrat who is now supporting Trump, was governor of Illinois when Obama became the state senator in 2005. If Biden's departure from the race couldn't have happened without him, Biden's departure from the race could not have happened without Obama, Blagojevich told the Post. All right, we don't have to read any more of that. I'm a little surprised. There's some real civil war going on behind the scenes in the Democrat infrastructure. I'm not convinced. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. First off, oh, by the way, that number they've been floating around that Kamala raised $80 million, $100 million, lies. I've seen the screenshots that says if you donate, we're adding 700% to your donation. Well, from how? How are you adding 700% to it? You got Vote Blue, Act Blue donating in people's names that didn't even know they donated. That woman didn't raise $80 or $100 million in 24 hours. That is them trying to sell you that people are excited about her. They're not. They're not. The only people excited about Kamala are black sorority women and gay men. That's it. Black sorority chicks from HBCUs and gay men. We can beat them. We can win that fight, guys. Cackling Kamala Harris. I got other names that I call on my internet shows, but we got this is a family-friendly show as much as possible anyway. Find that interesting. I'm not convinced they don't replace her at the convention. I'm just not sold on it yet. I am not sold on it. I think they're going to replace her at the convention. I truly do. I truly do. Let's take a break. I ran over that first segment. When we come back, I got a bunch of clips from Biden's inept speech last night and more. I got a lot of local stuff I want to get to today, too. We're going to save that for hour two. If you guys want to chime in, the Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. I'll tell you what, I'm going to read a few texts before we go to break here. Tim says, idiot white liberal women also for Kamala. Yes, thank you. How did I forget them? All the wine moms out there in Madison County and others. The idiot white liberal women. White liberal women have what's gotten this country in the position it's in. White liberal women and welfare queens are the crux of all of America's problems right now. 100%. 100%. Yep, they're definitely all on the same team. Team Destroy America, World Police. Let's see here. All right. Sorry, it takes just a second to load these messages. Reagankin says Kamala is a legit Democrat nominee. She will have a leg up on any man in the room. Kamala will not say something stupid. She will be too busy cackling due to nerves. Can you imagine Harris and Hillary in the same room cackling? If I were in the room, I would kill myself. I would probably, well, no, I can't. I don't even want to say it on the radio. You're not allowed to joke about that kind of stuff anymore. Y'all know what I would rather do. Unknown texter. With all of the Let Me Yahoo and Pope Palestine protesters in D.C., people on Twitter are asking where are all of the Proud Boys to counter these people burning American flags in D.C. They removed the Proud voice after J6 so they could rule the streets. Here's the thing with counter-protests. Do we really need counter-protests? I mean, because it's just like putting two sides against each other. It's a Molotov cocktail. It's like if Antifa comes to a Trump rally. It's trying to instigate people. Let them go do their protests. Let us do ours and leave us the hell alone. And we'll leave you the hell alone. But, man, could you imagine if they were all that nonsense they were doing in D.C. yesterday? And we're going to get to that. Let's save that for the other side of the break here, because I want to get to the way that the left is allowed to vandalize and destroy everything. And it's, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. They're not even hiding their love for Hamas anymore. It's not Free Palestine no more. It's Hamas is coming. I keep telling y'all. Frisco says, kind of like a school firing the coach and not already having a new one hired. Obama and his crew should have made sure that Harris did not step up. After the debate, no Democrat wanted Biden, but they damn sure didn't want Harris. But now they act like she's perfect. Agreed. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show here on WYAB. This segment brought to you by our friends over at, oh man, how about Pure Air Consultants? I had to send them over to my parents' house. They're homeowners insurance, not homeowners. I guess homeowners insurance, whatever it is. They're American Home Shield, one of those kind of companies. Sucks. That's the best way to put it. Just going to have to pay out of pocket and get their air fixed. But look, ever wonder why your AC has stopped working? The common reasons for this issue include issues like a flip switch, a dirty condenser, an improperly sized unit, an old unit, and a malfunctioning thermostat. Unless you're my parents and it's a compressor in the middle of summer. For over 40 years, Pure Air Consultants has been delivering exceptional cooling systems to Central Mississippi, and they want to offer you a rare gift, a free labor warranty for 5 years. New construction build, thermostat installation, and more. Financing is available. Pure Air Consultants also specializes in air duct cleaning, air duct sealing, and dry vent cleaning. Make sure the air you breathe is as clean and fresh as possible. Contact them today at mypureairconsultants.com. Ream a new degree of comfort. For over 40 years, Pure Air Consultants has been delivering exceptional cooling systems to Central Mississippi. Check them out. Hey, one thing we can all agree on, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on this morning, is if your air conditioner ain't working in Mississippi, you want to fight everything. Man, if I'm up in my house and it gets hot, I am fighting. I'm just swinging. If I accidentally hit somebody, so be it. You should not have gotten in my way. I get so mad when I get hot. I am a miserable person to be around in the summertime. I hate summer. Hate it. The only thing I like about summer are girls in bikinis. That's it. Nothing else. I'm not a fan of summer at all. And I'm definitely not a fan of it when the air conditioner goes out. All right. Man, you guys are on fire this morning on the text line. Sometimes you guys are the star of the show. Bobcat, thank you. It's a home warranty, not insurance. I knew I was close. I was close. It's home warranty. Corinthian, good morning to you, my good friend. Says, I think the word you were looking for is home warranty. Thank you. Yes. Hey, look, I don't mind being corrected here. I'd rather be corrected than I would be wrong. So y'all please always correct me. Let's see here. We'll kind of run through your text messages real quick, man. I've been kind of slacking on text messages for the last week or so. Kind of get in here and got a guest in here and had a guest every day last week. Let's see. Reagan again says they cannot afford to replace Kamala, not even with Michelle. The party is built on identity politics. Dem voters, no matter who the nominee is, would not get past a black woman being betrayed. Many would stay home. If they're going to ride Harris back this November, so many puns to that. They're going to ride Harris's back this November. The real powers behind the scene will be strategizing for 28 and 24 House and Senate seats. You know, man, I just don't trust the Democrats, especially after having control for 4 years. I don't trust them not to steal this election. And I've swung on this. I told Sean kind of as all this was unfolding and everybody wanted to get Biden out because he can't win. I'm shifting gears on this a little bit. I think they knew that they plan on cheating to win. They're just going to. It is what it is. They're going to cheat again. And if Biden won, they knew they couldn't sell that. It's just too obvious that they cheated if Biden won because he was such a terrible candidate and he was in such bad mental health. He's an evil old bastard. Evil. When he dies, he is going to hell. But they knew he couldn't. They couldn't run him again. It's just like when we cheat to win, people are going to know we cheated because there's no way this guy wins. Kamala, they can sell as the great black hope, the first woman president, the first Indian BIPOC black single mom president, stepmom. Anyway, they're going to cheat. They're going to cheat big. And we got to stop it. I don't know how. We're just too big. Got to vote too big to rig. Too big of a turnout for them to rig it. Hope that works. It worked in 2016. You don't think they were cheating in 2016? I can't wait. I can't wait to see Kamala if she ends up being the actual candidate. I can't wait to see her and Trump on the debate stage. It's going to be better. It's going to be better than Trump v. Biden. I got this in my notes, but I was going to save it, but I want to say it now. And I saw where Tate Reeves posted something, and I strongly disagree with this. I'm sorry. I'm in the camp that says you fight fire with fire. Tate posted this. It says, a lot has been said over the last few days about Kamala Harris. He said, my advice to fellow GOP friends, focus on her record. She's the most liberal U.S. senator and comes from California's political machine. She was named the border czar under Biden and has overseen the largest border crisis in American history. She is not fit to lead America. She is not fit to lead the free world, and her record proves it. Well, here's one of them situations where two things can be right. Yes, that is 100% correct. But you know what else is also 100% correct? She's a whore. Period. Her track record speaks for itself. The same media that has spent the last 8 years picking through Donald Trump's sex life and personal life with a fine-tooth comb and even making things up because they couldn't find the things they wanted, PP-gate, hookers giving him golden showers in Russia, that's all fair game from the media. But now that they've decided to run a whore as president, we're not supposed to bring anything like that up. No. Equality, equity, you're getting it. It works both ways. It's fair game. I don't care how many women voters that offends. If it's fair game to do it to Donald Trump, it's fair game to do it to cackling Kamala. Period. A lot of the women who were offended by that are these white liberal wine moms anyway that weren't going to vote for Trump anyway. Now, I understand Tate's the governor. You know, he can't say that. He can't call her a whore, but I can. Period. I will not apologize for that. I will not retract those words. Those are facts. You know, she was never married till she was 50 years old, which I ain't really knocking that because I'm single at a month away from 47, but I ain't running for president. Gosh dang. She raised a stepkid who's a tranny. This woman may be the worst political candidate for such a high office in the history of this country. I got a caller on hold. I got to take a break. Caller, stay on hold through the break, and I'll come straight to you. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. My caller hung up, so I will read a text here. Unknown texter on the Guns and Gear text line. If Trump and Kamala debate, Trump should tell the country the difference in price of things when he left office and the price of things today. Bust the Democrats on their record for the past 4 years. Bust her tail on what has happened at the border when she was supposed to be taking care of the country. And I believe you can 100% do all that, as you should. But I'm also saying it's fair game to call her out on her sexual shenanigans. Let's take a call real quick. Hey, caller, you got about 30 seconds before top of the break.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one clear definition change here. There's a difference between a whore and a prostitute. A prostitute is someone who gives sexual favors for goods or services or even a promotion. That's a prostitute. She's not a whore. She's a working girl.
That's a great point. I stand corrected. Good to hear from you, brother.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, keep rocking.
You know it.
Right. Yeah, man. Look, she's a terrible person. Just terrible person and brings nothing to the table. I mean, remove her sexual misconduct or remove her border shenanigans and it's just all she's terrible. Period. But the Democrats are playing the game that blue team go. Blue team go. That's all it is blue team go. They don't care who the candidate is or how bad they are, just vote blue. We'll be right back. Boom goes the dynamite. We're back. It's round 2, or should I say hour 2, of the most incendiary show on the radio. If you think that's just some little saying I like to say, that we're incendiary, or did you listen to hour 1? I think we planted our flag right there as the most incendiary show on the airwaves in the entire state of Mississippi and maybe the country. I don't listen to talk radio in other parts of the country, so I can't confirm nor deny. But I know that the things we are able to do and say and talk about here on this little independently owned radio station out here, our little First Amendment outpost in Florida, Mississippi, I know that I could never get away with this on corporate radio. I don't even know if I could get away with it on the internet, to be honest. Man, support WYAB. Support these sponsors. We're able to have real conversations here. We only have to edit ourselves in the sense of cuss words that the FCC doesn't like. And man, there ain't too many places left you can do that in real life or in media. So grateful to be a part of the WYAB family. So grateful. Don't forget Stonington Farms. Today's the last day to get your order in. StoningtonFarm.com. That's Stonington with 2 N's. Get your grass-fed beef. They'll be up here tomorrow delivering to Florence, Brandon, and Ridgeland. You can't just meet the truck and buy it off of it. You got to put your order in because they sell out every time. They only got so many freezers on the truck. It's gotten very popular up here because the WYAB listeners have been supporting it and telling their friends and family about it. And it's incredible to watch how much Stonington Farm has grown in popularity up here in central Mississippi. Very proud to be a part of it. Started back with Mike Madison when he was doing his show 5 days a week. They were one of his sponsors. They moved over to my show after he decided to go do something different. So really, really glad to have them on. And I keep my freezer stocked with it. I got to put my order in today, too, because I need some more hamburger meat. But, yeah, grass-fed, 100% fed and finished, mRNA-free, antibiotic-free, and steroid-free, Mississippi-raised grass-fed beef. Get yours today, StoningtonFarm.com. And look, they got more than just hamburger meat. They got all the steaks. They got the bone broth. Man, it's the best bone broth I've ever had in my life. I love cooking with it. Helps add flavor to everything. Or if you're doing like intermittent fasting and the hunger pains are just getting the best of you, man, take a little tablespoon of bone broth or a little bowl of it, a little cup, whatever. Warm it up, put a little sea salt in it. Eat it. It won't break your fast. And it's chock full of good protein. So they do offer that too. And of course, it's grass fed. All right. Shifting gears a little bit here. Man, that was fun, that first hour. That was fun. The show has shifted gears the last couple weeks, or the last month, if y'all haven't noticed. We've been very, very heavy on the national politics. Yesterday, for the 800th episode, we kept it very local because I think, every now and then you got to go back to your roots and kind of dance with the partner you brought to the dance. I brought Jackson to the dance, or Jackson brought me, however you want to look at it. But there's been so much just earth-shattering historical news going on the last month or so in the national space, with Trump being shot, with Biden stepping down, with the debate debacle, just with everything. And I don't even think I just think that's just the tip of the iceberg for what's to come in the next 3 months. I want to give a special shout out to Miss Starla Brown. She sent me a very nice text last night, just telling me to keep my head up on some stuff and stay focused, and got a big 3 months ahead, getting to November, 4 months, whatever it is. And she's so right. We do, man. We've got a big, big fight ahead of us. And, you're going to get tired. You're going to have days where you don't feel like you're all in. And just I say it in the beginning of my show. I've got a little clip that said in my intro that says, "Fight for the soul of America." And I didn't make, obviously other people say it. It's not an original thought, but it's so dang true. These next 3 months, 4 months are a battle for the soul of America. And we got to win. We got to win. Let's take a call on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, you're on there.
Clay, just that little snippet that you just stated, it's all lies. You don't do nothing but talk about Jackson. You have fell off. You're not effective anymore. And you have nothing but racist sponsors that you like.
Okay, thank you. I love that they listen and they're mad. I'm about to talk about Jackson. I'm about to talk about Jackson. So if you're upset about it, quit calling and start listening. Quit calling and start listening, because we're about to talk about Jackson. I tell you what, we'll do it now. We'll do it now just for you. Why can't the city of Jackson elect politicians who can pay their bills? I'm just curious. Why can't the city of Jackson elect politicians who can pay their bills? Looks like Angelique Lee strikes again. You know, she's coming off her DUI or driving under the influence of marijuana, whatever it was, up in Madison County. And now she's had her wages garnished because she got a bunch of political signs made 4 years ago, and she never paid A to Z printing. $21,000. You know, and my understanding is they kind of did it on the recommendation of somebody. Somebody vouched for her, said, no, she's good for it. She's good for it. I vouched for them. And they said they'll never do that again. Here's a story over at WLBT. It says a Jackson City Council member's wages are being garnished to cover unpaid campaign expenses. For months now, a court has been mandating that a portion of Ward 2 Councilwoman Angelique Lee's paycheck go to paying A to Z printing for nearly $21,000 in expenses racked up by her campaign. Wouldn't surprise me a bit if that was Angelique calling in right there a minute ago. The Hinds County Circuit Court issued a default ruling against Lee and Lee's campaign last May. A writ of garnishment was issued in October to the city of Jackson. Pay stubs obtained by WLBT showed deductions were made in Lee's checks for the weeks of November 22nd and December 7th of 2023. Documents show those deductions again picked up in February of this year and continued at least until June 6th. The deductions from February are for around $237 per each 2-week pay period. So that's putting her pay in just under $500 a month. It's unclear if those deductions are going to the garnishment, but I'm sure that's what it is. Portions of the stubs were redacted and not subject to the state's open record laws, the city said in response to our request. T Enterprises filed its initial complaint on September 20th, 2022. Jackson Jambalaya reported that the suit was related to her 2021 campaign. The website reported she held a fundraiser to pay off her campaign debts in July of that year. But she didn't pay them off. My guess is she probably didn't raise any money. I don't know if she raised money and kept it. I suspect she just didn't raise enough money. And she did this thinking she was going to be able to raise money and couldn't do it. But again, she shouldn't have got the signs on credit. But, blame falls both directions there. Continuing on, according to the Mississippi Electronic Courts database, Lee was served in person on October 12th, but never responded to the complaint. On February 1st, 2023, a motion for default judgment was entered. Lee will be required to pay $21,295.71 to A to Z and $168 in court costs. She also will be charged 8% interest per year until the debt is retired. Court documents show Lee declined comment. So you got a city councilwoman who's also allegedly about to go to jail in these FBI indictments that are coming down because she took a bribe, allegedly. You got a mayor who had a $6,000 line of credit, defaulted on it. $6,000 line of credit, defaulting. Living in that big old house over there. And you defaulted on a $6,000 line of credit. Are you faking it till you make it, Chokwe? Have you overextended yourself playing big boy? You fly back and forth to Atlanta every weekend. You know what? Look, hey, I'll be the first to tell you. Personal finances can be hell. I had to file bankruptcy a few years ago. I'm back out of it. Got good credit again. They bought a new car the other day. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm normal. I'm back to normal. But you know what I know? Run it. If I'm broke, I'm not going to run for office. That's a luxury. Why do we have politicians who can't pay their own bills, spending the city's money, paying its bills? Oh, that's right. They don't even do that right. And now we completely understand why. Y'all have elected a bunch of idiots that can't even pay their own personal bills, or campaign bills, whatever you want to call it. But you elect them to run a city? Y'all are idiots. I don't have any other way to say it. You're idiots. Let's take a call. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, what's going on, Clay?
Hey, brother.
I got a couple of more distinctions. First of all, here's my problem. That woman that called in is a perfect opportunity to pick her apart and show the world how stupid she is. All she had was ad hominem about your character, how bad your character is. No facts, nothing. That's the kind of person when you reach out and say, okay, hey, let's have a good discourse. Let's say, she's got no ammo whatsoever. She's a Democrat. She's got zero. Her people are murdering each other in Jackson at a rate that's just astounding. And if you're not mad about that, you should be. You should be outraged about that if you're black. My problem is
they're more upset when you talk about it than they are when they are peeling their dead kids up off the street with a shovel.
Yeah. This is my problem with it. Is why would you be so outraged? Why don't you try to gain an ally? This is what I would do. If I was black, I would call you and say, I want to make you my ally. I would talk to you intelligently and not in a belligerent manner, and try to convince you that my side was right. Instead, they just want to go and say ad hominem attack. Attack your character to show the world how horrible of a human being you are, even though you're spewing facts. And so that's a problem with me. The second thing is $20,000 in signs, $21,000 in signs. This is a Democrat belief, man. It's somebody else should pay this for me. Somebody else should pay my bills. Somebody else raise my kids. This is the way the Democrat thinks. It's somebody else's fault.
Well, this is also what happens when you elect people who can't even hold a dang day job. The Aaron Banks, to the best of my knowledge, doesn't have a job. Angelique Lee can't hold a job. I mean, you look at her employment record. She got fired recently for her driving while intoxicated or driving under the influence, whatever it was, with the marijuana in Madison.
Look at the reason why these people are pushed in these positions, because they're malleable, because they're controllable by their bosses, by their masters. So that's the whole reason why they pick these kind of people. Oh, you got money problems? Look, I'll make your money problems go away. All you got to do is run and do everything that we tell you to do.
Amen.
Someone who can't afford signs shouldn't be running, like you say. They're not in the league to run, but they're being helped because they're malleable. They can be controlled.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could go do today if I wanted to, but wanting to and affording to are two different things.
Yeah.
As I've gotten a little
toilet seat, but it's not in the card.
Yeah, as I've gotten a little older, I understand wants and needs ain't the same thing.
Right.
She wanted to be a politician because she wanted to be peacocking around town and look like a bigwig. And now she just looks like an idiot.
She needed to be a politician to get the Democrat to where they need to be. They need all these malleable robots in there that'll do whatever that are controlled by money. They don't care about anything but money. If I'm going to get cash and power, I'm all about it. I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
Well, now, if the rumors are true, she's going to be a new co-star in Orange is the New Black. So, kudos to her.
Yeah. Which actually, Wentworth is a lot better. So if you haven't seen Wentworth, go watch Wentworth if you're an Orange is the New Black fan. So.
Yep. I haven't watched it, but I haven't watched Orange is the New Black either. I don't watch a lot of episodic TV or whatever.
I'll be honest with you. Both shows are really, really good. So, and I really enjoy Wentworth is a Australian women's prison movie or show.
Yeah.
Great, dude.
I may check it out. Appreciate you, brother. I got to take my break, man. Good hearing back from you.
Yeah, man. Make that money.
Thank you. And just for the record, I hung up on the lady instead of arguing with her because I'm just tired of having that argument. If the first thing out your mouth is something about racism, whatever, you've already lost the argument. We've been doing this for 4 years, 801 episodes now. Your opinion is nothing to me. That's how I feel about it. And I'm not going to platform stupid people. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Guys, you just heard that commercial there for A1 Gear and Auto. Can't recommend them enough. I hate to do an ad read right after you heard the commercial, but it was their turn. A1 Gear and Auto, Florence, Mississippi, Highway 49 South. They're the industry leader here in Central Mississippi for all of your ring and pinion repair needs, repair and replacement needs. But look, man, they can do anything. You got a check engine light on? Want to get it diagnosed? Swing by, let Justin and the guys get it knocked out for you. Hopefully, I don't have to be a customer again for a while. Hopefully, I got all my vehicle stuff put to bed for a little while. But if I don't, I'll be at A1 Gear and Auto. They can take care of any problems you may have, any kind of vehicle. The only thing they don't work on is diesel engines. Any other part of that diesel vehicle, they'll work on for you. The undercarriage, all that stuff, they got you covered. But they're not gonna work on the internals of the engine. They'll recommend you to somebody who can. I think we got a great sponsor here out in Raymond, the Mayo Auto Clinic. Is that it? I think they do diesel engine repair. But get over there today. Brakes, oil changes, check engine lights. They replaced the compressor on the car I just traded in a couple over the weekend. They get you covered at A1 Gear and Auto. Highway 49 South, Florence, Mississippi. Locally owned, locally operated. Proud supporters of WYAB. All right. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. Corinthian text in, says, tell them that's why they need to be praying for and supporting Corinthian Sanders for mayor. I need all hands on deck, even folks outside the city and county. Let's see here. Kind of running through the text messages. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I think that's a real conversation to have, that last segment, concerning these Jackson politicians can't even pay their bills, yet y'all keep voting for them because they make you feel good inside. Make you feel good inside. They say all the things you like to hear. They look like you. That ain't a reason to vote for people. I ain't never, not one single time in my life, voted for somebody because they're white. I vote for people whose policies are going to make my life better. There's not a citizen in Jackson, Mississippi that ain't one of the minority set-aside contractors who can say a single decision made in the last 8-9 years has somehow benefited their life for the good. Well, I guess that would be the definition of benefit. But some of y'all, I think, are just gluttons for punishment. So I guess you can be negatively benefited if that being the case. Y'all keep electing people who do not have your best interest at heart. They have their best interest at heart. It's called reparations politics. This is what bankrupted Detroit. Those same idiots, those free the land nut jobs, migrated back to the South because they said they stupid enough down there to believe this nonsense. All we got to do is play the black card, the race card. And man, I guess they were right. Sadly enough, they were right. They came right back down the Underground Railroad from Detroit to Jacktown, and they've been playing y'all for fools since they got here. It's embarrassing. Y'all are embarrassing. And not a single one of you who aren't in the inside circle, who aren't one of the set-aside minority contractors, have benefited any from this administration for the last 2 terms. And the revolving door of nut jobs on the city council. Half of them about to go to jail. Or house arrest or something. Like I said, we know which one's snitching. Now, I don't have any inside information here. This is pure speculation. Let me layer it with a big a big old allegedly. We know which one's snitching. It's the one that can't pay their bills, that allegedly took a bribe from the FBI. It's ridiculous. You're going to call in here, call me a racist for pointing out the facts. I will gladly fall on that sword. See, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Like where I disagree with Eric, he's like, become their ally. I don't want to be their ally. I don't want to be their ally. I never want to be on the same side of an argument as any of these people. Ever. They are wrong on everything. Cat Williams says, how do you mess up everything? Everything? Everything. They have messed up everything. I never want to be on the same side of anything as they are, because they're wrong about everything. I mean, prove me wrong. Phone line's wide open. Tell me something they've done good that has benefited your life. 601-879-0002. Shoot me a text. 769-241-1944. You can't. I will remain undefeated on this stance, on this argument. You can't do it. Don't forget, we're streaming worldwide at WYAB.com. If you're out of pocket, you can always catch the live stream. If you miss any of it, the podcast is always available. Thousands and thousands of downloads every day. You guys are blowing my mind at how popular this thing's gotten on the podcast stuff. Just search Clay Edwards Show wherever you download podcasts, stream music, audiobooks, and more. It goes everywhere. We podcast Kim Wade's show as well. So if you missed any of that, be sure to check out Kim Wade's show. Some of the other guys, I think Matt Bishop podcast his show too, The Full Story. Just search for it like that. Let's see here. David says, Angelique Lee. I looked at her bio. Dang, ChatGTP is good at writing bios. Says, last question. Who in the heck would give Jackson politicians a line of credit? Not sure of the company name, but you might need to consider cash and carry. They said they would never do it again. It's the one time they've done it, and they did it based on somebody on a referral, on somebody they trusted, vouched for her, and she poo-pooed on them. James says, there's been enough state money put into the city. Should be a statewide election. You would think after years of these folks voting for Democrats and it's steady getting worse, they'd vote for a Republican one time just to see what happens. I know I would. I mean, if the roles were reversed and we kept beating our head against, it's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And that's why I just don't have respect for the people of Jackson. Y'all keep doing the same thing over. And now, there's people in Jackson I respect, but as a whole, I don't respect you. You keep voting for the same things over and over, and the same type people over and over. And it's not working for you. We're actually going backwards. Never in the history of Jackson, Mississippi, has it been in the condition it's in. When it was Chimneyville after the Yankees burned it to the ground. That would actually probably, I'm going to say factually, be a good start right now. Let's just burn it to the ground and start over, because this ain't working. This is not working. It actually is. About half of it is burned to the ground. It's a burned out shell of a once great city. There's a few nice little pockets in it, a few OG great businesses that have survived and strived in spite of the inhabitants of the city and the leaders of the city doing their ever-loving best to burn it to the ground, figuratively and literally. You got some great businesses like Old Tavern down there on George Street, one of the oldest buildings in town to have a business inside of it that's not an old house. Of course, you got Martin's and Howland Miles and some of these other great places that have stood the test of time. Chriselle's down on Highway 80 stood the test of time, through good food, good service. And, it's odd that most of these places are restaurants and bars, right? Being ran by good people who know how to do good business. Funny how that works, right? You got Walkers. I've never even been to Walkers before, but you got Walkers. I've had a to-go plate from there before, but I've never been. You got a few of these little legendary places around here. People get up and go to work every day. They bust their butts, and they survive and strive even, in spite of the city's efforts to put them out of business. I've said this before. See, some of y'all just only know me from this, but I spent 10 years as a business owner in Jackson, Mississippi, on Capitol Street on the corner of Capitol and Farish. And what I learned in those 10 years, and my dad owned a store on Lynch Street for almost 50 years, but what I learned was when you're in business in Jackson, you're in business against the city of Jackson. It is the least business-friendly city, at least in the Tri-County area. I would probably say all of America, but definitely in the Tri-County area, because that's just the only ones I can relate to. They are doing all they can to handcuff you and make it hard for you to make money in the city of Jackson. Now, if you want some illegal dope boy stuff, it's a great place to set up shop. You got a chop shop? South Jackson. South Jackson is the place for you. They accidentally stumbled into 8 or 9 stolen cars in one backyard the other day there. I'm sure it wasn't because of any sleuth investigative work. Somebody was probably flying a drone or tracked their own car there and found the rest. You got some illegal operations you need to do. Jackson, Mississippi, South Jackson in particular. The guy, that piece of crap that murdered that woman in Louisiana and brought those 2 baby girls up here and raped and killed that one. There's a reason he felt comfortable coming to Jackson, Mississippi to do it. He thought he could get away with it here. Does that not tell you all you need to know? It's a criminal safe haven. My good friend, Mayor Jake Wyndham in Pearl, said it best when that guy was running from him and he murdered the mailman in that police pursuit a year or 2 ago. He said, criminals are running to these people are running to the criminal safe haven of Jackson, Mississippi. He hit the nail on the damn head. We'll be right back. Speaking of Old Tavern on George Street, y'all get down there today, man, if you're in the area. They're located in the good part of Jackson, and they're in the CCID right behind the new Supreme Court building. It's funny calling it the new one. It's been there forever now. But they're located right down there in downtown Jackson on George Street. Building's been there for over 100 years, well over 100 years. It's historically awesome. Just go in there and just absorb the history. And get some great food while you're there. 100% made from scratch, never frozen, locally sourced everything from farmers markets, from basically it's farm to table. Everything's made from scratch, even the dips and salad dressings. Everything made from scratch, nothing frozen, no pre-battered cheese sticks, nothing like that. They have these pimento cheese fritters that are deep fried. My gosh. I can't tell you how good they were. Fried fish, phenomenal. The Cajun pasta, the burgers. Get by there today. Check it out. They're open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. 6 days a week. 5 days a week. Tuesday through Saturday. So I think they're getting ready to start opening for brunch on Sundays. They got a huge patio, too. It was connected to the old Two Sisters building right there. They got that huge patio. So if you need some outdoor space, you got an event. They got the upstairs. You can use it for luncheons, events, speaking engagements, whatever you need. But mainly get by there and just enjoy the lunch. And look, don't forget happy hour every day. I mean, it's like a real old school tavern. There's nothing else like it in Jackson. It is original, can't be replicated. So cool. We had our Clay Edwards show FAFO Friday lunch there last month. I guess I've let July slip by, and we haven't scheduled one yet, have we? Well, we actually did that 1st of July. So I'm doing it the 1st of the month. Or is it the last? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll get one scheduled. We'll have another lunch. Been busy. But get by Old Tavern today. All right, man, we got about 6 or 7 minutes left here. I had somebody text me yesterday, so I gave a hot take on something without diving too deep into it yesterday. I just read a couple small article that I think Bobcat has sent me from CNN about a shooting, an officer-involved shooting up in Springfield, Illinois. A lady, 36-year-old black lady. I don't know why the race is relevant. It's only relevant when something bad happens to them. 36-year-old black lady calls the cops. They show up, and she says, come inside. Let me go to the stove. I got some boiling water. She gets to the stove, and she insinuates she's going to throw the water on the cop. Well, he's like, don't you effing do it. I'll shoot you in the face. And she just persisted to act like she was going to do it, and she got shot in the face. Could he have handled that differently? So I had more than one listener reach out to me yesterday and was concerned with my thought process on it, and basically said I was wrong on the deal. I've had some time to look at it. I went back and watched the video. I looked at it. I read about it, and my opinion, honest to God, man, this is going to be one of those times where I always tell y'all, we just ain't always going to agree on stuff. If you listen to this long enough, I'm going to say something that offends your sensibilities. And this is probably going to be one of those things, because my mind ain't changed. Maybe he should have stunned her instead of shoot her in the face. Okay, I'll give you that. She was going to throw hot boiling water on her. What was he supposed to do? He ain't got a helmet on. He's supposed to be scarred for life because this woman's having a mental breakdown. I'm out on that. It may seem insensitive, and it's sad. I'll admit that it's sad. It shouldn't have happened. It was 100% avoidable. 100%. But she effed around. She found out. And let's play this forward a little bit. This is what happens. You get mentally, see, then you got a short fuse, mentally unstable cop also. They didn't know how to defuse the situation. Well, that's what happens when BLM, progressive politicians, Democrats all get to screaming, defund the police, defund the police, when they throw Derek Chauvin in prison for the rest of his life because George Floyd died of a drug overdose while he was being arrested. You run good cops off. I meet guys all the time. I get messages all the time. I meet people out in public all the time that used to be cops. And these are young guys. I mean, young in the sense of, 50-ish or so, still in the prime of their careers. They didn't want to retire early. They didn't want to get into something different. They left because of the microscope they're under nowadays. They can't do their jobs. They can't do it to the best of their ability because they're worried they're going to go to prison. So you end up with unqualified people because you can't find good people to do it. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You wanted to defund the police. All cops are bastards. All that nonsense. Huh? You reap what you sow. You run good people off. You don't get good people in return. Sucks to suck. That's my opinion on that. Again, and look, I love all my listeners, except the lady that called a few minutes ago. I love all y'all. And again, we're going to disagree on things. I like disagreeing because what it forced me to do when I got some pushback on it, it forced me to dive deeper into it. and take some time, a full 24 hours, and decide how I really felt about it. And that's how I really feel about it. My opinion really ain't changed, except maybe he could have, again, could he have defused the situation? I don't know. He could have tried. He didn't try. He could have done that. I'll agree with you there. He shouldn't have gone straight to, I'll shoot you in the effing face. I'll give you that. She shouldn't have done what she was going to do. Then he can't just sit there. I mean, I don't know if there's a greater warning in the world than I'll shoot you in the effing face if you do it. She was warned. She still was about to do it. What do you do? I mean, he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life. I'm not even saying he shouldn't. I'm just saying you get what you get when you put yourself in those situations. Let's take a call real quick. Hey, caller, you got about a minute before we got to take a break.
Yeah, Clay, this is Bobcat. I just wanted to let you know, have you looked further into the article? Attorney Crump is already on the scene, and they've already compared this thing to the George Floyd shooting in a presidential election cycle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, this was born to be national news, and I'm just curious how it's going to play out.
We'll see. That was the first I heard about it yesterday, but I appreciate you sending it to me.
I knew I dropped the bomb on you, and I didn't mean to. I thought I gave you enough time. I think I called it 35 after the hour.
It probably did. I was reading it between the breaks. It's all good. I don't mind. I mean, it forced me to have to go back and look into it last night. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a hot button topic depending on how the media cycle catches it. But yeah, it's got all the ingredients to be a powder keg for sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Bobcat.
That's all I wanted to point out. Have a good one.
Thanks, brother. Let's take a break, come back, land the plane for the day. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back. Fun show today. It felt like one of the old school shows. Got fired up. Been last 2 days, man. Had to get my mojo back a little bit. I've had a lot of guest hosts in here just trying to have some conversations, but every now and then it's fun to just let it rip. It's fun to make people mad by speaking the truth. I appreciate everybody listening. I really do. I appreciate the opportunity you all have presented me, and I will be forever grateful of that. So thank you all for 801 episodes now of this train wreck radio. I think we'll have Sean back with us tomorrow. He's got a murder case he's working right now, a big trial. I will see y'all later. Peace out. ClayEdwardsShow.com.